got some show and tell this week. I got a lot of cool stuff, but I wanted to show you this. This came from, and I can't quite read the name. It's either Pavel or maybe it might be a form of Paul. I'm not sure, but this came from Poland. It was a really nice letter. Look how nice the writing is on that. I don't know Americans who could write that neatly, really. But it's got this beautiful paper and everything. It was a really nice note. But the really cool thing, look at this. It's got sealing wax on there. Sealing wax. That is so awesome. I really wish I want one of those. I can just stamp. That's old school, but I really like it. And so he's a 20-year-old mechanical engineering student and likes the show, and that was really nice. I love getting letters like that. I got this from Brian Claggett. You know what this is? What state this is? Can you guess? I bet you a lot of you already probably know. I hope I'm holding it up the right way. I didn't check on a map. I think that's the right way. Did you guess yet? It's West Virginia. Yeah. Someday they're gonna settle their differences with Virginia and they'll reunite. I use that joke all the time. North Carolina, South Carolina, North Dakota, South. They're always just, those states just hate each other. They hate each other. And so someday they'll all get together. Anyways, that's West Virginia. So I'll hang it up probably with my California, and I have Brazil around here somewhere. It's kind of a mess. It's still a mess in my shop. I'm still, I try to clean it up and still kind of make the show at the same time, which is a little bit difficult. Oh, I wanted to give a shout out to Jack. Hey, Jack. It was nice meeting you. Jack is a fan of the show, and he came over and met me the other day, and he gave me this while he was here. Do you know what that is? That is not a map of Virginia. What that is, or West Virginia, it's a center finder. You ever see one of these? It's just two dowels and it's got a nail in it. So, say if you wanted to find the center of this board here, you would just take it, twist it, and then you could just mark it down that way, and it finds the center. Assuming you didn't know that plywood in the center was the center. But on other boards it would work out really cool. So that was cool, and it was really a pleasure to meet you, Jack. Oh, and I got this a while back and I forgot to mention this. This is from Marlon Givens in Pennsylvania, and he sent me this picture after it looks like my Shut the Box game, remember? But it's a little bit different, and he gave me instructions on how to play this, and they just call it the game. The game. I like making games. That was nice. And like I said, it's always fun to get stuff in the actual mail. You guys ready for football this weekend? This is a great football weekend. It's 12:15 now. That means in a little over an hour, the first playoff game starts. So there's 2 playoff games today and then 2 tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be the good one. San Francisco is playing, and I'm sure they'll win. But my guess is that the Super Bowl is gonna come down to, I'm gonna make a prediction here. It's going to be Denver. I think Denver's gonna be in, hands down, easy. It's just a matter of who's going to play Denver, and I think it's going to be Seattle. I'd like for it to be San Francisco, but I think it's going to be Seattle. And if it were San Francisco, I just hope it's not the same clobbering San Francisco took from Denver when they played in the Super Bowl last time. Winter Olympics are this year too, and I always enjoy watching the Olympics, whether it's the Winter Olympics or the Summer Olympics, and I really enjoy curling. Curling is something I always want to play. When I see it play, it looks like bowling on ice, and it just looks like so much fun, but we don't have any curling. I did a search on the internet during the last Olympics 4 years ago because I got really excited about curling, and I think the closest one, there might have been a place down in San Jose that did. I don't think there's any anymore. It's mainly it's a Canadian game, I guess, so I kind of wish. See, there's a good reason to move to Canada to play some curling. Did you enjoy the palette project yesterday? I had a lot of fun making that project. I really liked the way it turned out. It was a project that I wasn't expecting it to look as cool, I think, as it turned out to look. The nail holes and everything in there all just kind of came together, and I thought it was a pretty cool project. I'd done a little bit of research on bathroom cabinets and what might work, and that one, most of them stick out farther if you want to put towels on them, but I didn't want to stick that out. Our bathroom is pretty small. That's our guest bathroom, and I didn't want to hit it all the time, so it's a little bit narrower. But the nice thing about those palette projects is that you can really just, you have to kind of modify them according to the wood you have, because the planks, the slats that the pallets are made out of, just seem to be all over the place as far as widths. There's some that are 3.5 inches wide all the way up to 4.5 inches wide. They're different thicknesses. So it's actually kind of fun to just go through those boards and just try to pick out, mix and match, as it were. Still think I got a couple more storage projects for this month. I think next week, I'm just brainstorming here. That I'm gonna do an under the bed storage box next week. It's kind of one of these things that, and I was mentioning this to Jack when he was over here the other day about how much of woodworking is just, well, it's making boxes. It's like everything I make is just a box, really. And you know, my bathroom cabinet was, well, a box, and my storage cabinet over here was a box. I think if you can master the art of making a box, then you can pretty much build anything. You can make a house. I was thinking about making the under the bed storage. You know, I'd like for it to be on wheels, but I don't want the wheels to really stick up high, so they got to go on the side. I don't want the box to be heavy, so I'm going to use some, I think, thinner plywood if I can. It's the kind of thing that doesn't get used a lot, you know? So those are all considerations that are going into this, and then I want to try to do something a little bit different with it rather than just, well, make a box. I mentioned the Tao of Pooh in my Audible commercial I did yesterday. That is really a good book. I really enjoyed it. It's a short book. It's easy to listen to or read if you want to actually read the book. This isn't a plug. They're not paying me for this part. I'm just kind of doing this because I enjoyed a lot of these books. And I did read The Hunger Games because I liked the movie so much. And so I read the book. I listened to the book. When I say I read, I don't read, I listen. But I listened to The Hunger Games, and I'm not sure if it really added anything that the movie didn't already have, so I don't know. It was pretty close to the movie, you know, a little bit difference here and there, but I enjoyed it. And I think I may read the next one, The Catching Fire, because I did like the movie Catching Fire. I'm still really into Frozen. It's funny to see all the people from all walks of life who are just discovering this film. It's really kind of a phenomenon, and I don't know what it is about that movie that just kind of strikes the right note, and the music is really good, and yeah, I've seen it twice already. I'm really looking forward to when it comes out on DVD. And if you saw yesterday's video, you'll know that I used my router as a jointer. And that's because I said, well, I don't really need a jointer. I guess I don't need a jointer because I was able to use the router, so there. And to be honest, if I buy a couple of boards at the lumber yard or, you know, a home center, and I need to make a panel and glue the edges together, I don't usually bother jointing them at all. Usually, you know, the store-bought edges are pretty close, or I can just run it through my table saw and that pretty much flattens them out, and then just clamp them down really tight, just kind of squish them together, and that seems to work out fine for most stuff. But the pallet wood is just, it's so gnarly. It really needed a flat edge so I could get a good gluing surface on it. There's my thoughts on jointer. Why is it called a jointer? It should be a joiner, right? A joiner. I'm always confused by that. Joiner, there's a biscuit joiner. Is it a biscuit jointer or a biscuit joiner? Somebody's got their leaf blower running. I guess that means it's time for me to end this video. I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Well, that was strange. I just had a visit from another fan, Michael Coolidge, and he brought me this. This is a wine bottle. You know, you put this over a wine. I had to ask him what it was, and then I remember seeing these before. You put this over a wine bottle like that, not a finger, and then in these little slots here you hang wine glasses. So, you know, it's a decorative thing, I guess, and if you're gonna give somebody a bottle of wine. But anyways, it's a cool idea, I think. So thanks, Michael. It was nice meeting you. And it's been a busy shop this week.